Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start. So this is Elliot Wave Sage. I'm just gonna start my live stream here. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Use these videos for your education and entertainment purposes only. So I just want to start off and recap the market as people join, and then I'll just go into the Q&A like I normally do. So the market, a lot of people are afraid right now that we have a crash in technology that's going to emerge, as well as the rest of the indices at any moment. They're just early. They're early. Yes, such a crash will happen, but not. But they're always just a little too early. They see something that no one sees yet, but that will happen, but not right now. So again, I got to look at this cycle. We have 5 waves up. Now, I showed this on my last video where we had this big decline, and I said, guys, we're going to get a 3 wave. So the chances were we're going to come back down here. So I still think, you're susceptible for rug pull, which I almost think we got on close yesterday. This would have been very unusual because of the degree of correction we should be in. We should start to see a 4-hour correction on the Nasdaq to correct this entire impulse. Now, you look at this impulse, you look at this RSI peak. This is still the highest one compared to here. So it's still, I can't label it as like a 1 2 1 2 1 2, but I mean, if we do not pull back in this third wave like I have shown here, then more than likely it's going to turn into like a blow off top, like a 1 2 1 2, and it's just going to go crazy because I think everyone's going to FOMO in, be offside, had left the market and short in it. So I think you can't rule that out. I think it's like 10% odds of that scenario, but we need to wait and see next week. But it doesn't, I look at this 4-hour cycle here, and we're like right there. It wants to break it. It wants it wants to reset that 4-hour cycle here. Now it is up for dispute in technology. Is this wave 3, or would this become another 1 2? And these peaks here do exceed these peaks and the previous ones, so you still should label this as a 3. Let's check some higher time frames, and you still see that here. Now the only time frame that contradicts that here is the weekly. So as you can see, the weekly peak RSI happened back in wave 1. So someone could make a case that yes, maybe we'll get a deeper pullback here in technology right here, but then that is a 1 2. So 1 2 1 2, and then we moon. So you can't. But I think that's a 30% chance, only because of that weekly peak not being exceeded. But we can't rule it out. That's why I do not like selling tech, trying to top tick, because you could be giving up a lot more gains, because this may not be a 3 4 5, a 3 4 5 still. Now I think it's pretty likely that this whole cycle's resetting. But is this going to be a 1 2 or a 3 4? No one knows the future. But we know stocks like Tesla have to go much higher, Apple and so on. So it would be kind of not unusual to have a massive market crash without those stocks really pumping more, getting Tesla to new all-time highs, and some of the other bigger stocks that haven't really kept up in technology. So there is a case to be made that this is just a 1 2 here. It will be a buyable dip, and maybe your last opportunity to buy technology before a massive move higher at 483, 486 in the next week or 2 weeks. But again, no one knows the future. I'm just showing you possible paths, but I do think this is a great viable dip here in technology if we get it. And then you could look at the big cap stocks and see if there's entries like Amazon and so on that really play that bounce. There is always a chance that you get a bounce, and then it even goes lower because here's your force. So there's always this possibility. We can't rule it out. Now that would definitely become a 4 more than likely if that happens. But we need to wait and see. So I don't like to sell it, and I don't like to top tick or short it or leave my positions just for all those reasons I said. So I'm not looking to get cute here, guys. I'm looking to just stay in the market and look for opportunities to buy the dip. It's that simple. You buy the dip. You don't need to be worrying about a crash. The crash, when it comes, we'll all know it. They'll have to have news with it. It isn't just going to happen. We had COVID. We had the financial crisis, real estate. We had, Lehman brought. There's always going to be some massive unexpected news event that will coincide with the crash of the indices. It just is not going to happen because the computers do not have emotion that run this market. They're not going to just crash the market on a technical base. There just won't happen. We need news to drive this market to crash, and you need the VIX to build out of this wedge, and we're not anywhere near that yet, right? We're still trading sideways like I told you we will, and then even lower, even lower, and then we can worry about a crash. But that's how I look, guys. And we're like, why do I care? Why is he spending so much time on this? Just answer my question. This shit's important, guys, because the overall direction of the market is like like the ocean current. So you want to trade with the current. You don't want to trade against the current. You don't want to do things against the current, against the grain. You want to make your job easier. So you have to know what's going on here. And if you don't, then you're already lost as a trader. You're lost. Because you always want to trade the trend of the overall indices because that's the undercurrent of the entire market. So why would you go long if the market is crashing? Why would you go short in this situation when the market has all these potential scenarios for surging higher still, with only a little bit of a dip that's still possible here, this little bit of a dip here? Why play for this little bit of money when there's so many other scenarios I showed you that go higher? That's not how you win, right? This is how losers trade. I want to get this little dip. What if the dip doesn't happen? You can't worry about these little dips and shit, man. So that's the triple Qs. The SPY, guys, is I'm going to put a 3 here, but again, it could easily become another 1 too. And this one here, you have your peak here. So again, you could put the 3 there. You go to the daily, you have your peak, so you could still put the 3 there. And the weekly is barely exceeding it, which is not usually good for a wave 3. So that is, again, have we really peaked yet in 3? Or is this just another bear trap before an even bigger move higher, right? So the Dow Jones is also showing you a lot more upside is left to come. Okay, bigger picture on the Dow Jones, guys. This isn't even Elliott waves. You had this massive cup here. Okay, you broke out. This leads to much higher targets. Then you have this flagpole and the flag pattern that's about to break out here. Here's your flag. There's your flagpole. And that gets you to these targets I have highlighted. So the Dow Jones has plenty of room to run. Plenty of room. It has not seen wave 3. Nowhere near, not like technology. So lagging, but this is going to catch up. And we're seeing it already trying to. So we have a 1, 2, 1, 2. We're in another 2. Maybe we've dropped more again. But we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, the Russell. We've been talking about the Russell on my videos, and here we have our Y wave, A, B, 1, 2, 1, and now we need to surge up to this area. Since it's a Y of an X, the gains will be rapid. And it would be these RSIs will have to exceed all these peaks. When we're up here, the RSI on the weekly will overtake everything. It won't. I don't care about this peak. It would have to overtake. It would have to trade up in here, and the daily peak will have to exceed this peak. So much more upside to come in the Russell. We all knew that. We all knew that. But a lot of the market participants were caught flat-footed, and they don't know why this is happening. But we already knew this was going to happen. We already knew it. And the thing is, it's going higher, guys. So the Russell and the Dow tell you the market is not ready to crash yet, and stocks like Tesla need more upside that will prevent the indices from crashing. And then you have the triple Qs. I'll give it this. It is in a decision point. It may play out in a sideways to higher fashion, but I still think we make another high, push higher. This is the worst case scenario. I could see for the bulls in the NASDAQ is something like this. Okay, something like this before. Oh, shit. Before that. Yeah. Oh shit. That's probably happening, by the way, but not yet. That ain't happening yet. So, but this is probably the worst case. So, what does this mean? It's sideways to higher, kind of dead money, while these other things all run. So that's the worst case. Now, the most bullish case is we continue to extend in wave 3, and it just continue but beyond your logic and reason. The market just keeps pushing, and we actually hit this target. This was, a really stretched target for the triple Qs. I'll be surprised if we hit the 650 on the triple Qs. But that's the market update, guys, and I'll show you guys crypto real quick, and then I'll go to your Q&A. Crypto has found support. We are in a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It looks like we want to break the downtrend this weekend, and then we should bust out of this to 64,000 and then come out. That's what it looks like to me is happening. As long as we're above this low, it's a buy to dip. It's a buy to dip. The bulls retook control of the market here. As long as you're above this low, crypto should be supported, okay? And what's really interesting is stocks, let's take a look here. I was looking at, look here. You've got this leg in Bitcoin Cash is already reset. This leg is from June 6th, and I think the Bitcoin June 6th leg is right here. So Bitcoin hasn't confirmed the reset of the cycle yet on the June 6th leg, but Bitcoin Cash has already broke that. It broke that days ago. So what does that mean? It means it's bullish, guys. The market is, so I don't know why Bitcoin Cash is more bullish than Bitcoin right now. And it is, guys. Bitcoin Cash for some reason is getting more interest, and I got to research some new. I don't know if there's some emerging news going on with this coin, but the chart is the chart. Now, if we break this 400 on Bitcoin Cash, we're going to break the April correction. That'll probably be one of the first cryptos to do that I chart. Now, there may be others, and that's well before Bitcoin, right? That's well before that Bitcoin cycle. We're going to have to get to like 68,000 before that happens. So I'm just telling you guys, the market is bullish still, despite all the FUD out there, as long as we're above these lows. So we have some tradable lows. All right, let's jump into super chats, guys, and then I'll go to your questions. So I'll start with Khaled. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate the super chats, and thanks for following me. Yeah, let's go to Mara and S Silver. So Mara is the crypto, and if you believe Bitcoin bottoms, we have to believe Mara is going to continue higher. Okay, so I made the case that we're in a connector wave. We're in a connector wave. and at some point we're going to get surprised with a rug pull. But that would take Bitcoin. That's going to have to be a collapse of the crypto market. So I think as long as you're above 14, you have to assume it's going to go higher. So, you know, right away you look at Mora, you have 5 up here. This is like 5 swings up with a 3 swing back. So you could put this as like a 1, 2. The problem I have is this. You only have 3 waves, and you know, maybe you could force a flat, like you put the 1 here and an A, B, C, and you bottomed here, but that's it. So if I'm going to go with the bullish case in Mara, the only possible path that I could see is we trade up from that low. So I would say the way to play Mara is you have a stop at 1878 and you try to play for the wave 3 breakout. This wave 2 may not happen. This could happen actually much later. This could play out for a while, this connector wave, and go even take out these highs. So I wouldn't worry about this too right now. I would just trade this cycle. It seems like right now, looking at the cycle, to me, it wants to build higher from this pivot at 1881, and it was looking for a wave 3 breakout. If we break this pivot, then I can't think of a bullish structure. So then I'm back to, well, this was just an A, a B, and C, and then it's wipeout. So I think that's why you know, I think it's tough to trade this. There's probably other things to trade that are easier charts to interpret, but I would probably just play the upside in it on this wave 3 here. You know, and maybe we'll get a pullback and out. But as long as we're above 1882, you know, I think it's going to continue higher. Taking out this high at 2286 or 2283 will confirm the low. This is a bigger low. It will probably come back to retest this high. The next question you had was silver. So silver, I'm looking at a wave 5 in silver. Still, I won't make it any more bullish than that. I still looking at this 5th wave, and we're looking for 32.33 in SLV. Looks like to me in silver we had this 1-2, and it looks like this is tough. This could be another 1-2, or we could still be in 2 in a flat, and we drop to fill the gap. But I don't like selling silver at all. As long as we're above 2604, this is a count, and this is where I see it. And then after this 5th wave, it could have a much bigger correction all the way back down to $24. Now, there's a chance that it may not be a 5th wave, that it could also become a 1-2 and it moons to you know, these higher levels. So I don't like selling it because of those reasons. We could look at the wave 3 peaks. Now I can make a case it's a 1-2. You see this peak here exceeds this peak. That could imply the wave 3 has not been experienced yet, which means that this is just a 1-2. So I can make a case the daily cycle is still very bullish. And as you could see, we're still breaking out. We haven't really done anything. So this is a very conservative view, but I can easily, and maybe it's probably even just, you know, better to just to go with a count something like this. And if this is the count, where silver, the cost of silver per ounce should hit $50 per ounce. And I'm not sure what that equates to on this ETF, but that's how I look at silver. That's why I'm very bullish on silver, guys, right now. And the dollar index will help support that as it tumbles and unravels, which we already are seeing, right? And the dollar index is important to pay attention to because there's much more downside yet to come, right? This is where you want to worry about silver topping out. So I would say here, the fun just is getting started with dollar weakness, guys. And look, we had these calls, boom, 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 and it's just going to keep. It's going to be like an avalanche is selling the dollar. Okay. Thanks for the super chat, Icy for 5. Let's take a look at some of your stocks here. D here. Let's see if we have. I don't think I've charted that one before. Yeah. Dominion Energy. Energy is tricky because oil is trying to decide where it wants to, if it wants to crash or surge higher. Let's see. Oh, is this a utility play? What is this utility? Yeah, it's utilities. My bad. I thought it was energy. All right. So got to go to the monthly time frame first. So clearly, you're in the grand supercycle correction. You V bottomed here. You actually held above that low, so it's actually a strange cow, something like this. So the question is 2 done or not? Well, we know the sector is pretty bullish, right? That's a pretty good reversal, but the problem is you have not broke the monthly cycle. So once the monthly breaks out here, then you can call that correction over, and it will see the power of Grand Supercycle Wave 3 for much, much higher prices. But until then, we don't know. I mean, to me, this looks like, just looking at it, it looks like to me some kind of either ABC or flat correction. You see how you have no divergence here at this low? We'll just label it as like an ABC. So the odds are that this low is in. I mean, you look at that weekly cycle reset, because if it isn't, and we actually come back and break it, this would be a connector for this whole move. And then there's really no more room to the downside. I mean, what's it going to do? Go to single digits? Go bankrupt? So essentially, you can back into the low on this. This is a stock you can back into the low because you either have to, if you don't think that's the low, then you're basically saying it's going to go bankrupt or close to it. So you have to start labeling more bullish patterns. I think just to be safe, we'll call that a 3-4. And retake of this high will confirm the bottom is in, but we need to wait and see. All right. Celsius, I don't like buying Celsius until Pepsi is in the buy area. So first things first. So it seems to trade with that sector and the staples, and also Pepsi's got investment in it. So I'm very leery buying it while Pepsi still needs to make a low. Pepsi still needs a drop to 140s. So I am concerned, but I will look at this chart again and see what we have going on. I do look at this as a flat correction, and the impulse is over, but that doesn't mean anything because you could break this low. So if we break 51.98, then the impulse will extend, right? It will become a 1. You'll get a 2. And then I'll go 3, 4, 5, right? So this could happen if Pepsi shits the bed, I think, and this sector shits the bed. I'm just telling you guys that is a possibility. That's why I'm very careful, like not chasing this here. I want to get more confirmation that we're in a low, and that's going to take more time. It's just going to take more time. Even if I missed the final low. That's why I wanted it, and then I said, I just going to be cautious and see. That could be the peak. That could be your peak, and it could be so we don't know. This is too many possibilities to label. But I do think from this low on, it should be bullish until otherwise proven. And if we get a strong enough push out of here, then I think you can call the low in, despite wherever Pepsi trades. But right here, it's, I think, still kind of dangerous playing around in it. All right, Core was another one that we followed on our channel. We've been asked about this before. Let's go to it. Core is I think we topped in wave 5. Okay, so it should typically retrace back to 679, and then if this is the bottom, it's going to launch out of here. Now we have 5 waves with divergent. I mean, it meets all the criteria. In fact, I could even maybe put the 5 like right here even. Oh, let's see, did we exceed that peak? We didn't, so I'll still label it this way. So I think this is I think we have to have a bigger pullback, and then perhaps it's earnings, perhaps it's something else, we come out. So this would be a pretty shallow pullback. It looks like you at least need to come down. So I think it's going to come down, and then who knows? And then if this is the right setup, it's gonna launch out of that. And of course, this has to hold. If this doesn't hold, then it's a bigger problem, because this bounce is corrected. This bounce corrected the cycle since January. So this little measly bounce is corrected this entire swing, this whole impulse. So you basically, I mean, if I were in it, if this low broke, I would dump it and never want to trade it again, because it's just gonna just keep grinding lower. And then Dina is Duncan, I think, right? Are they could, oh, Krispy Kreme, yeah, they could be getting beat up with the GLP-1s. We need to wait and see. Okay, yeah, so I've got a low here at 642, so it's just not there yet. I think it's got GLP-1 FUD out there that's like Papa John's and some of these others. This looks like an AB right here. It looks like it's about to have a wave 3 rug pull at any moment. Okay, do what's best for you. Thanks for the super chat, Dylan. Let's go to your questions. VIRT. All right, that's, I think, a new one for us here. Or it looks like we have had this before. All right, so we were looking for a flat, and we got it. So the question is, are we there yet? Are we there yet, or are we more downside? Well, this bounce finished up this move, right? Finished up this move. But it didn't go deep enough. Actually, that's a 4. I think it's got one more low. I think it's got one more low to finish the sequence on the flat correction. And then that should be it. And then it should, it may or may not make it here. I think you're just going to have to, watch it and then make a decision if you want to try to play this too. But that's it. I mean, there's really nothing else to say on that one. I mean, we've had this charted, and it looks like that's exactly what's happening here. XLV. So XLV has is that, yeah, that's the pharma, right? The healthcare sector. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on. So I have to see. So very bullish sector. Okay, we had the whole grand super cycle. We've come up, and we did drop into, and that's it. That's all we got. We didn't get any. You think it would have went deep? It didn't. It was that bullish. You could thank Eli Lilly and all these other guys. I mean, that's super bullish. I mean, we corrected this whole thing for that little dip, that little dip, and you could see, clearly. There's your 3 of 3s in here. There's your wave 3. And then there's your 5, right? And then you made a new high. So this is bed reset. I mean, I look at this sector and I'm like, you know, yeah, let's see here. The only reason, because we're trading the new highs. Yeah, I can't even envision just a crash scenario because we're trading the new highs. So I think this is a count. This could be one of the most bullish sectors emerging in the next 4 years. I don't know if this is like a risk-off sector or just like it's recession-proof, but if this count holds, I mean, we'll see prices, roughly speaking, $300. So double. And the underlying stocks will go much higher, right? So this is the count. 1, 2, 1, 2, and it looks like it's about to have a 3 of 3 moment in this sector. Okay. I just don't see this as a flat correction. Now, yeah, we took this peak out. So now you have 1, 2, 3, you have 5 up. So there's no way. I guess you could be more conservative here. Maybe we could be a little more conservative and label this a 3, a 4, and a 5. And then we pull back to correct this move. Back down to like 134. So that's probably, what's this? Yeah, let's go with that for now. Let's go with that for now. And then we moon. Then the sector moons. This is the most likely path probably, but you have to do what's best for you. And then we'll see if that's what we get. If we get this, this is where you want to, go for the triple levered ETF, right? To get this wave 3, the secular wave 3. So very bullish. I was looking at it. I was surprised by what I was seeing here. I would have thought this too would have went deeper, but the market is just, I guess it's just too much money coming in to the sector. So that's it. So that's XLV. IWM super cycle is pretty straightforward. I still have it in a bearish super cycle. Just like I show here, I'm not going to clean it up because I don't want to lose my labeling. But as you can see, we finished the grand super cycle here. Very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Grand super cycle's finished. Okay. But really don't have that monthly reset. Here's your peak in 3, your pullback connector, and at some point it finishes. So the other thing I don't like about this is here, this is very complicated. 3 swings, you put W, 3, W, a triangle for X, and now we need Y. The finish, larger degree X. So you have A, B, and now you need C. Why do I think this broke this low? It was the only indice that broke the October 22 lows. So don't let it fool you. The October 22 lows have already broken. They have broken. They've broken in the Russell. Now, that typically sets up a rug pull. We also have a fractal in the Russell that it loves to do these pumps and crashes. Okay, let me see if I can find the one I was looking at before. Here. Where you break down, you see how we went sideways, and then we pump up, and then look, holy shit. I think this is the fractal we're going to get in the Russell. This is the fractal. And right now in the Russell, I believe, let me get my arrow. Let me get my arrow here. I believe we're right there. Somewhere there, maybe there. Okay? That's where we are. When we get to there, here, drop, up, shit's over. Game over. And then, ironically, COVID came out of nowhere. And that's what's going to happen in the market, guys. Something unexpected will happen, then nobody knows. Here, when this happens, when this X is set somewhere, maybe it could even be lower, I don't know, but somewhere around here, some news event so horrific, so horrible on the par of COVID, like on that type of scale, is going to drop, and there'll be panic like we've never seen before in the market, just like March 2020, probably worse, and we'll get why. And it should be just kind of straight down. Bam! And then that's your generational buy in the Russell. But until then, there's no reason to worry. Why worry about it? So you buy it and you just make money. So I'm just making money, and I know, but I do know that at some point the good times is coming to an end. I do believe that in the Russell, and that also coincides with my interest rate forecast, right? Because we said that interest rates are going higher long term, right? We're in this connector wave. And again, why do I care about rates? Well, you care about rates because it's driving the Russell, right? The growth market. Russell down, we go down, Russell pumping, and then oh shit. And then whatever is going to cause this spike in rates, long-term rates, it's not going that high. At least I don't think so. I think 8 or 9% is probably likely. So whatever is going to cause that move is going to cause the Russell to be wiped out. Like, whew. So that's the super cycle on Russell. So I would just be trading for more upside. I wouldn't be too concerned until once interest rates are down in this low 3% area, the dollar index is down in this area, then it's time to get fucking concerned, guys. It's time. Like you better be watching and probably taking some profits. I wouldn't short it. I mean, no one's that good, but I would definitely be getting on the sidelines because the market conditions here would be set up for a crash. Here, they're not really, because it's hard to, how is the indices going to crash if the dollar index is unraveling? That's good for stocks, typically. It's like it just isn't going to happen, right? You don't have a VIX breakout. You just don't have the conditions. You have lower rates. Typically, a lower rate environment isn't going to crash the indices, right? Typically, the way we're seeing, unless it's more panic. But we didn't see the VIX spot, so there's not panic. It's just people are buying bonds because they know the Fed's going to cut rates, So anyway. All right, thanks, Dylan. Let's go to the next question. Fabio, ICU. Let's go to that. I think I've heard. We definitely done that one before. Here, let's see here. ICU. How's that one doing? We called this flat. This is a big call. This was a big call on my channel, guys, because a lot of times it's hard, but the structure lend it, and it looks like it's playing out. It's playing out, and I would just, you see that bearish divergence. Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's see how that looks. So that look isn't good because that's more of a 3-swing look. But if we can recapture this high, that's even better. We have a lower low there. The lower time frame does give us. It's an extended fifth. Okay, so if you go to the lower time frame, I think we can see 1, 2, 2. No, it's 3 swings. So this is a 3-swing move. So it's still a little too early to spike the football. Did we get this low right? We need to really recapture this high. So the best way to label this right now would be, if I was trying to label it bullish, that's too big. I'd have to force the label in. You'd have to force the label, like, and again, I just don't like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just So you just run out. So it's a 3. So you just have to do a force label like that. You have to do that. So if it's bullish, we'll get 5, and then a pullback. If it isn't, it'll break the low, and then I would leave the trade. Because then the flat is negated, because that's the idea. You're trying to play for this flat. So this is the potential scenario. You do something like that, and then it moons. But you really need to turn and take this high out. Now this pullback here looks like 5 waves. So and that looks like a corrective. So I don't know. I don't think we have enough to go off of here. We did take out the divergence there. Yeah, so I would be really cautious. I think you just have to label this as 3 waves for now. And so right here, the market needs to make a decision on what it wants to do. Now, lead-in diagonals, if this is a lead-in diagonal coming out, it subdivides into 3 waves. So perhaps it's a lead-in diagonal, right? A 1. So that's another possibility, but we don't know yet. We don't know. So that's why we have to just kind of watch it here. All right, that's all I can really say about that. KULR. I think that looks like a new one for us. Looks like it's one of these. It's been in a bear market since its existence. Some kind of connector with a 3 swing move down. Not enough chart data, although you could see that. So that's good. And you see the cycle reset. So this is a major low, and that's very 3-wave move down. So if that's the case, you can label it like this with a new cycle higher. And then you have to look at where we are on this pump off the low. Clearly, you have some kind of 5-wave price action here. Again, no divergence. That looks like bottomed here. And now we're trying to come out. And if we come out here, again, like the other one we were looking at, it's only a 3-swing move. We have 5 down. So this could be a lot of things. This could be a flat. This looks better at being a flat potential correction. So we'll have to wait and see, but it is a potential to reverse at any moment. Okay. Thanks again for the super chat. Donald for 5, Pfizer and Tesla. Yeah, let's go to Pfizer here. How's that doing? I thought that they dropped news. They're going to go into weight loss drugs. They're going to have a weight loss pill that they're looking at. And that got everyone excited. So we had this, we've been following this for a long time. We knew we were in this wedge, this ended diagonal. We finally came out of it and won. And then we talked about it being at a very pivotal point. Again, backing into the low. So here you have, your 1, probably put the 1 there, and then ABC. So what is all this? So this is, this could be a connector wave. We could still be in 2. And it wouldn't surprise me to see that because if I look, yeah, I'm got a hunch it's a connector wave. It will have another low emerge for a second chance entry at 26.43. And that may be your last opportunity to buy this before it goes into its super cycle, grand super cycle wave 3. So I think to me it's going to drop based on looking at the way it looks. But you're going to have to do what's best for you. This is really tricky, especially trying to get these connector waves. But it looks like an A, B, C of some kind. And even this leg down. So yeah, so it's like a W, X. I guess if you could take this peak out here at 29.33, that would probably, let's see here. That probably create some divergence. Maybe that could negate it. But anyway, if you're a long-term investor, you're building your stack here. This doesn't matter. You don't really care. You're just dollar cost averaging into this, right? If you're long-term, if you believe in the company. Now, if you don't believe in it, then you don't want it, because if it breaks this low at 24.86, it's game over technically, because this bounce corrected the entire decline. So it's gonna this become like a 1-2, and it's gonna go to single digits. It's like the only, I mean, what scenario could get Pfizer to go bankrupt? Maybe vaccine payback, right? Vaccine injury payback, right? By the next government, they waive all their immunity. They're like, you know, screw you guys, you're not immune. We're going to let the lawsuits fly, and you guys are bankrupt. Like, I don't know. Again, that's a hypothetical situation that I think is still in the back of investors' minds that are buying this thing. Like, is there vaccine liability in the future? I know I'm immune, but with a wave of a pen, that immunity could disappear. So I think there are people like that are worried to put like a lot of money in there. But if you don't worry about that stuff, then this is a great opportunity for a long-term investor, dividend investor. So, but you'll have to do what's best for you on that. And then Tesla has been behaving just as we expected. There's been really no change. Tesla, you know, has hit our buy area multiple times on our channel. We had to buy here exactly 143. We targeted. See that black line? That was it, and it hit it, and then boom, and then we had this 2, right, guys? And now we had, you know, we had to be patient, and then we had another buy, and then we went vertical in 3. So the odds are we're in a 5th wave, and we should top out here at 290, maybe 300. We're looking for this 4-hour divergence. We want to see bearish divergence on the 4-hour like you saw here. And then it's going to go into a much bigger correction that's going to take months, more than likely, until something really exciting happens. And then it's just should go, essentially it's just going to go straight up, because that's how Tesla works in these wave 3s. Now, it doesn't have to do that because a couple things. One, this 4 was really intense. Too intense almost. So there's someone could say that this cleared the deck and this is actually another 1-2. So I don't like selling it for that reason. So I really want to just hold and watch this, see how this wave 5 develops, because it could surprise people, and then if we break 300, it's 400. It's all-time high. It's back. It's that quick, and it happens that fast, and everyone's going to miss the move. So I think that's why, again, you don't want to be too cute with Tesla. Oh, I'm going to trade in and out short, because when Tesla really hits its wave 3 moment, it goes vertical, guys. It just goes vertical. You're going to have to just go for the ride, and I don't like selling Tesla until the $600-700 area. When we're up here, that's probably when the indices are ready to crash too, by the way, guys, okay? When we're up here. So Tesla supported, and I believe yesterday was a great opportunity to buy the dip on the back test of the downtrend line. Like, look, you have this downtrend line, and essentially we back tested it and found support, right? So this is the most conservative view, you know, but you'll have to do what's best for you. And then it comes out. But I think this was so intense, I won't be surprised if it actually extends. All right, let's go to the next one. Mike, Space and Lunar. Space. Yeah, Space is meme stock, and it was close to bottom fishing for me, and it reverse split, I think, right, or something, or split. Okay, so I've got my count here. I am watching it. You know, unfortunately, it just, you know, it's just having a hard time. You have all these 1-2s, but we're like, where's wave 3? I think wave 3 is about to finish. So I don't like trading it. Yeah, wave 3. Maybe we call that wave 3 here. Get rid of that. Again, it could always be off by a swing. So it's got another wave 4 coming up here soon. So it's got a pump coming. But that's going to fail. It's got to play out all these 4s and 5s before it goes bankrupt, right? Because that's what this chart is saying it's going to happen. So it's got a long journey lower, but there are pumps coming. So there's another pump coming in 4. That should be on the same magnitude as this pump. So maybe up to 50, maybe up like that. Something like that's coming. Okay. Loon R. Let's see if we have that. Intuitive Machines. All right. Well, what we're going to do with a chart like this, we'll just say we're trading off that bottom, off of this low. As you can see, you do have divergence. That peak, there is a little bit of divergence there. So more than likely, this peak will be exceeded at least. So this is your connector. Your buy area was right here. It's turning out. Yep. So more than likely that's your low. So it's going to be bullish off of that low. And it looks like it's some kind of 1, 2. This could be even 3 here. So too many possibilities at this point, but you get the idea. It should continue to be supported. See these peaks? They didn't really take that peak, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's another 1, 2. Let's take a look here. 1, 2. Yeah. And then, something like that. But you have to do what's best for you. But I do think it's going to stay supported, and a new cycle higher has been born. That should take it above this peak at some point in the future. Okay, thanks for the super chat, Anonymous. Appreciate the super chats. Let's take a look at your cryptos on BT. So again, crypto forecast. I think really we need to really understand Bitcoin at this point and what it wants to do, because again, if we can't break out of this, right, we really need to take this peak out, so we get like some kind of 5-wave sequence. But if we can't do that and we do drop and break these lows, then a lot of those stocks are gonna take a leg lower. So you have to keep an open mind. And unfortunately, it's hard to predict the future, but I do think at the moment I would predict more upside, because the market has not given us any reason otherwise. So we had a 1, 2. Looks like another 1, 2 here. That's all it looks like to me. It looks like it's about to have a big move higher next week. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like it's about to really get a big move next week. Now, there's always a possibility that this morphs into something a little different, like A, B, C. So you really need to take out $4, but let's take a closer look. If you look at this, it looks like to me 5 with divergence. So it appears that it's not gonna do that, right? It could very well drop back down to 368. but we'll see. Something like that. Okay. Hut. So Hut, we're still looking for. We were looking for this move down in 4. Did it truncate or not? Is the question. Let's look at the degree. So this 4 matches with that cycle degree. Let's go to the 45-minute. So you had 45-minute cycle reset. See, really didn't get that here. I still think it's 50-50 if we're going to get this drop, and this is a connector wave. It's possible. It changes the target a little bit. But I would say the way to trade it is the sidelines. And if it drops to 1360, you could buy it. If not, it truncate it and you're entering wave 5 already. But there's really, it seems like to me that it's going to take another swing lower. I have a feeling it's going to do that. It's going to take another swing lower, but you have to do what's best for you. Bitcoin BCHG, very bullish, right? One of the first, again, it broke the downtrend from April convincingly. Some kind of back test. The back test held, and it's about to go into a 3 of 3 moment. So it's set up for that next week, guys. It's set up for 1 2 1 2. Look, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. It's set up for like boom. So I don't know. Again, I don't know why Bitcoin Cash is so bullish all of a sudden. If there's some news out there, someone knows, put it in my chat so I save me time from having to research it. But yeah, this looks like it's about to play out next week, and that should. I mean, if you're a day trader, day trade, pattern day trade, get you like $14. So, I mean, but everyone's got to do what's best for you on that. Of course, this is a major low that has to hold. So that's the count. That's the count. Now, LTCN is different because it's not as bullish. You're like, damn, why isn't this bullish? It just isn't. I don't know why. I don't know why people want Bitcoin Cash over Litecoin. Now, here, you don't have that convincing thrust off the low, right? You don't have that. Let me move this line a little bit. Like, you don't have a very convincing thrust, right? You did break it, okay, I give you that, but it's not convincing, not in a way that I would have wanted to see it. So that's why I still think it's at risk for another move lower. We haven't got that conviction yet in price or that confirmation to call the bottom here. Now, can I label it? I can easily label this like as 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, this little wick there, 5, right? I can do it. But I just wouldn't be surprised to see one more low. I just wouldn't be surprised in this instrument. But we'll wait and see how it goes. Okay, thanks again. Next, 30 over par. QS has been moving, yeah. I kind of hit myself over the head on that one because I almost bought that, but I'm pre-pump, and I was looking at that chart because it had a good setup in it, and maybe it still does. Where are we with this thing? Okay. All right. So obviously that extended. Yeah, we've been in this chart in this for a while. So we broke these lows. That's never good. So we have to look at it. Is this some kind of impulse? So where is the low? There. Okay. Yeah, it's an impulse down. So big, and I can't do a flat. So I think bigger picture, bigger picture, it's long, like super long term. I don't know if these highs will ever be exceeded ever again. Now, but is it tradable? Sure, very tradable. See, this is where I thought the bottom was right here, right? That would have been the bottom, but obviously we broke down, right? We broke down, so that did a lot of technical damage to the chart. So now you're in this fifth wave. In fact, when I look at it, when I look at it, you see how you took that peak out here? 1, 2. Yeah, I think you put the 5 here, and it's in a new. It's correct. It's correct in the whole move from the all-time high. So this pump should be in a new cycle higher for a while, but I wouldn't fall too much in love with it because more than likely, whenever that cycle ends, uh, this low will be taken out in the future. So it looks like a wave 5 here, right? Looks like it's about to peak at any moment. Something like that. Okay, so it looks like it wants to peak at any moment, and we should drop back into this area here on this wave 2. But this move looks like it's pretty much over at this point. Yeah. Okay. CIFR. Cipher mining. Okay, that's a different one. Another one of these been in a bear market since its existence. That looks like a flat correction of some kind. Whoops. Did it wrong. All right, and now we're building off of that low. Another like flat here. So you have another flat here. Yeah. So this is about to hit a wave 3. And we all can see that, right? I mean, higher peaks. So yeah, this should it should go higher. It's about to come out of this to the upside, right? And then boom. So that one looks pretty bullish. All right, MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is a tricky one, like Coinbase. Again, that's why crypto is really kind of a challenge at the moment because we don't have a lot of conviction in some of these bounces to kind of get us confirmation. So MicroStrategy is something that I would just say that you really shouldn't be trading right here. I still worry that you get a C wave that breaks this low, but because we have 5 down here. Now I look at this, there's a chance that B can extend and C can come later. So there's always this possibility. I think this is probably the most likely path. So I would look for this kind of path. And you have 3 swings here. This is some kind of 5. See, this is 5 swings down. So that's why I'd be really careful. Like it could be, this could be. So is that telling you Bitcoin isn't going to pump, right? Is that what this is saying? So MicroStrategy's got a lot of question marks in it. This is 5 down. I guess you could say this is an A, B, C, and maybe, yeah. So maybe I could try to force it. Yeah, but it needs to hold this low at 1200. It has to hold it, just like Bitcoin has to hold its low. So I think as long as it holds its low, I'll be looking for something like this, and then you'll have to do what's best for you. Okay. Sound has been nice for a lot of people that have been in that. I was looking at that. So sound looks like it made its 5th wave and finished that on Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the low, divergence. So looks like to me we're pulling back. We did break this high, which is very good. So I'll be looking for a pullback, and then for more upside, we could pull back to 521, $5, and then out again. So I'll be looking for something like that. And sound, ultimately we should take this high out because we have 5 up here. I would like to take this high out, but then after that it's really tough to see where it goes from there. But I do think this high will be taken out. Okay. Weekly, yeah, the weekly cycle, because it's resetting the whole from the all-time highs. That the decline from the all-time highs is over. So it's in a new bull cycle on the weekly, monthly time frame. It's just that cycle is going to fail some point. I don't know when, but at some point I believe it will fail, and then it will go to even lower prices. I do not think those all-time highs will ever be seen again. It's just technically. I'm just going technicals. All right, Mr. Wimbledon, MRAM, and AIP. Yep, a couple that I don't think we've done before. Yeah, we don't have MRAM on here. So MRAM. Another one, it's kind of been in a bear market for a while, but you see here, no divergence, no divergence. So more likely that's a major bottom here for it, and we're building off of that low. You have 2 peaks there, so that's probably a 4-5. So it's probably an impulse of some kind there. And then now we need to see if we have 3 swings or not. What's interesting is look at that capitulation, but price is higher. That's I like to call that hidden bullish divergence. So that's a very bullish sign. Yeah, so this is an impulse too of some kind. It's got to hold that low. So I would still go with this bullish chart as long as it holds this low at 550. If we can't hold that low at 550, then it's something else, and more than likely these lows and this it's going to unravel. So I think it's more on the upside. I would lean towards more gains, and we're coming out. Okay, something like that. So hopefully you get lucky as long as this low holds. Next is AIP, Adaris. It's funny, everyone likes these stocks that have been in bear markets forever. Interesting. I get a lot of requests for stocks that look like these. They're just like, I've been devastated and they're like doing something. But that's okay. I don't care. Trade what you got to trade. Here you go. Bottom, no divergence. So more than likely, this is probably a significant low. I think you got to be careful that you're in wave 5 and it's about to we have to be really careful. It could be that if it's this, it's going to drop all the way back down to 381. Okay. If it isn't, it's very bullish. 1212. We just don't have enough data. Let me look at the daily. Well, you see, if you look at the daily, you see so this is actually not labeled right. We put the 3, 4, 5 there like that. Let's see, something like that. It has another one. Yeah, it's real strange looking chart. So something like this. Yeah, so it's about to have some really big gains coming. Again, as long as this low holds at 679. Yeah, looking at the peak there. Yeah, maybe, yeah, I'll just put the peak there, even though it's like a penny off, but we may not have all the data. So we'll just go with that. But also this looks like 5, so maybe it was a flat. So maybe we did peak here, and it's just a flat. So this is what I look at, something like this. Okay, thanks for the super chat. Atlas for 10, BRK Berkshire. How's he doing here? Last time we looked, we were in some kind of wave 4. We're predicting 5. Now we had to buy just in case it took a dump. It didn't. That happened. So we should be entering this wave 5. And it looks like to me we're in. Looks to me we are in some kind of 1-2-1-2 setup. And we're coming out. So I would expect more gains, right? So it looks like we're coming out into this wave 5. And as we know, they can extend and erase divergence. And then this could become a 1-2. So it looks like it's about to take out this peak at 430 and continue higher. All right, thanks for the super chat. Andre, let's go to your super chats. G-Wave, here. And we don't have that one. Looks like another one of these been in the bear market since its existence. We were looking for this wave. Looks like this wave 5 to finish. We have to really zoom in. All right, so this was our buy area, right? So, and again, these are just ideas. It's hard to target these. So wave 5, 1, 2. So see, if you look at this, it only looks like 3 swings. So it could still be in this 4. Let me see what degree this 4 is, if that's what's happening here. Yeah, see that? So we're in a higher degree wave 4. So we're still in wave 4. It just did a flat correction. It's doing a flat correction. So we're still in wave 4 of some kind. What I would do is probably put 3 there, B, and then C. And then we get 5. So I do think it's got probably more upside to finish this thing out, and then another leg lower. It's too bad because if it would have finished, this is people are too excited. But that's typical. Wave 4s are like they're really signifying the end of the move is imminent, but there's usually one more push after that. So something like that is what's going to happen there. LPSN. And that's another one we don't have. Oh, live person. We do have that. It's doing probably the same thing. It's stuck in this 4. Now this one's a little different, but I think we'll be able to target where the 4 will end, and I bet it's pretty close to where it's reversing. So we would see it at 97 cents. The short, it looks like it just missed it. So more than likely it's starting its next leg lower here. Let me bring that back. So there's the short area. And then it should still do this 5. So it's just taking a bigger swing in 4. And it makes sense because you see 1, 2 took a big swing. So it makes sense it's going to take a little more time before we get 5. So that's kind of what I would see happening here. And then DJT, I think I looked at that the other day. I saw it was kind of behaving erratically. I think it's going into a much bigger connector wave that's going to take a lot of time and drive people crazy, like impatience. Because I was looking at this the other day. So I have this in a bigger connector wave where we come up and C. And in fact, C can end at any moment now that we've made it to, so, and then another leg lower. But I think this low will be respected. So I think it's some kind of play some games like this. And again, this could be like, so that's what I'd be looking for. It's taken, because we broke this low here. So I think it's gonna double correct. But C could make one more high. But I wouldn't chase it here. So I wouldn't want to buy it here. All right, thanks Andre for the super chat. So Joseph Kim, how's it going? SMCI, yeah, we haven't done that one in a while. Let's take a look at how that's been doing on our charts. So SMCI, we had this 4 wave. We actually called the peak here, and we got that right. And then we have a 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm still looking for 1400, and I think next week is a very important week for it. But my guess is it's going higher, and we should continue to extend higher. So again, this is driving traders crazy because they're impatient. But I believe patience will be rewarded in the next couple of weeks. That's the way I look. Now, if this doesn't happen, then it's a connector for this decline, and then we go down to 400, but then this isn't a 4 anymore. This will become a 1, 2. So if you're buying it here, you got to stop out at your risk is 762. So if you're buying it against 762. And then your reward is 14. And then it's going to have a much bigger correction. I believe all the semis are going to make like one more high like this and then have a much bigger drop coming. I know a lot of people think NVIDIA already topped and stuff. I think NVIDIA is in wave 5, and I think NVIDIA will go into wave 3 of 5 soon, break that high, and then top out. That's how I think. That's what I think. But we'll see if that happens. Yeah, very bold. Oh, maybe that's the news. The inclusion in the NASDAQ 100. Boom. Okay. All right, Jeremy. Next, Super Chat. MLGO. Let's see here. And I don't think we have that. Micro Algo. Another one of these has been in a bear market since it's been invented. The company went public. So this looks like some kind of connector, right? And you have a 1, 2, 3 swing. So that's good, but the problem with it is too much divergence there. So it's probably some kind of impulse. But where are you going to find the wave to? You know, it's just impossible. So I think it's really a tough chart to trade. My only thing I can think of here is this looks like a 3 swing move that finished. So this is a connector. So I'm just giving you my best guess at this. And then we should go lower. So my thinking is it's in a new cycle lower. There's your finish. There's your 1, 2 right there. It's about to get like wiped out in wave 3. All right, so that's, you know, I think this is where we're going with it, something like that. So just lower. That's what I would look for in that. And then BSFC, Blue Star. Another one of these has just been in a bear market since existence. You can't even chart it. It's literally been straight down. So I mean, I wouldn't expect any less. So I think we just have to expect it to continue lower. Maybe we have a little bit to work with here. 1, 2, 3, and then it came back up for connector, and then we came down. Amazingly, we have an area to accumulate here, but I mean the area is so big. Yeah, I mean 1, 2, 3 up. And then Y. So we haven't taken this out. So this is your first B. This is your connector in Y, May 24. So what happened in May 24? So we need another cycle lower off of May 24. So Y is still dropping. There's your B, and now you need C. If it can stay around. So now it needs C, and what has to happen is this has to drop all the way down and take this peak out. So until that happens, you just got to assume it's just going to keep going lower despite these little gyrations. So I think that's what I would expect. just continuation lower. And it will go down in 5, bounce 5, and maybe you'll get that capitulation. But it's pretty dark. I mean, I guess it's just continues to print shares, dilute or something. GameStop, for next one, Timothy, did an special update on GameStop on my live stream. But what I will say about GameStop right now is it's driving people crazy because they want it to moon and they're so like desperate, and they either put their whole stack in or whatever. But I do believe that this is the count 5 up, and we should be pulling back in this too. That either it could end or could go down to even 24.47, and then hopefully we can come out of this. We have broke the massive downtrend has been broken and violated that trend line. So cycle higher, and then the daily cycle higher has also broken the downtrend there, as you can see. So we should be in a new daily cycle higher. The weekly cycle is actually turning up. So I believe the long-term stochastics are now in our favor. The 4-hour cycle is also turning higher, although it can pull back a little bit like I show here on this wave too. So I do think for right now, everything looks okay, right? So you're just going to have to be patient. So that's the thing with GameStop. You got to be patient. And if you put your whole stack in and everyone's making money in Tesla and SoundHound and you're not, well, that's what happens when you can't put all your money in one thing, guys. And I know a lot of people on the internet I read are doing, that's what they're doing with AMC and GameStop. They're putting their whole stack in it. And that's just gambling. That's just crazy. Because if you have your money well spread around, okay, if this isn't hidden, something else is probably hidden today. And you're paying, at least you're getting paid every day versus like, you're biting your fingernails like, oh, it didn't move today. It didn't move. Why? The Russell pumped. It didn't move. So this is just going to, you're just going to need patience. But at some point it's going to pop. It's going to pop. And I do believe the first pop should get us to 34.36. Then we were looking at fractals last week. We pull back deep, and then we come out and moon. That's the fractal that seems to be in play. So we'll see if that happens. Okay, Fabio for 5. OCGN, let's go to that. So OCGN, we called this low and we're coming out. We're coming out. So I do believe we're about to break. Look at that reversal. That should get us up to $5. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so what's your other question? Is this a triple top since each top you have decrease in volume? Well, I don't use volume on my system, so that's irrelevant to me. Triple tops are rare. They're almost typically double tops. If once it hits a triple top, it's almost always fails the top. Like a triple top and triple bottom is almost a super rare pattern. It's almost like a confirmation that that's not going to happen. So I would say having it come back up past the gold, like this golden pocket area, like is giving bulls confidence. And now the day traders are going to do that, right? These are the guys that like buy calls every day. Guess what? They're in this now. They're going to see this pattern and they're going to go, oh shit, OCGN's in play today, guys. And you're going to, all of a sudden, you watch the call buy-in is going to skyrocket right here, right there. And then you're going to get that boom. That's what it's set up for. I mean, don't fight the trend. Don't fight it. It's just that's what's about to happen. That's what's about to happen here. I mean, now we have moved quite a bit. So you would think maybe you get a pullback before, but who knows? Maybe not, it looks like a 1-2 here. Looks like you already got that pullback here. You see how you broke this high? So I'm pretty confident you're gonna be breaking this high. And once you do that, you're on your way to $5. All right. Yeah, retrace doesn't matter because if you're really bullish, we've seen things never retrace. Like some things retrace deep, some things barely retrace. The retrace is irrelevant. What's more important is how the stochastics reset. To me, in my system, not how deep you go. Although I will say that if it goes too deep, that's not typical of a wave 4. Wave 2s go deep. And wave 4s typically aren't that deep. But so like if I see a retrace that's pretty deep, then it's probably not a wave 4. If I see it, shallow, well then that still can be a 4, but it could be a 2 too. It doesn't rule a 2 out. A 2 could be shallow, could be deep. Um, typically though, wave 2s are deep, violent retraces. 4s tend to be a slow, profit-taking wave that the people that have been in early in the cycle just kind of slowly, distribute their bags to new, unsuspecting people that get destroyed in wave 5 because they're late to the party. Think of NVIDIA. That's what's happened to NVIDIA, guys. If NVIDIA is a wave 5, we're in a slow wave 4, right? It's taking forever. It's that's a typical. So the bags are being dumped by the early investors, and then what's happening is the late investors, they're like, I'm all in now. I'm good. Maybe you'll make one more high in NVIDIA, and then boom, rug pull, and all those people that got in late are going to be blown up, and then the people that got out, they're just going to buy it back again from them at much lower prices, and then this cycle goes high, and then life goes on, and that's how this ecosystem works typically. But this to me looks like it wants to break out based on my experience. All right, Festival EXK. Let's look at that. Silver. All right, so as we know, silver's been pretty bullish, and so is this one. Let's take a look. Again, looks like we called that turn right here. Look at that. So I would say no change to what I have here. So we're looking for retest of this high, and we're well on our way to do that. So that was an easy one. So I see no change. It looks like it's about to go into a wave 3. Out. Yeah. Actually, can even be a 1-2-1-2 on this little leg here. A 1-2-1-2. Yeah, we should probably label it that way. And out. Yeah, actually, so I'm going back and forth on this one a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna label it this way. I think you're gonna have to you have to do what's best for you because yeah, there's the 3, 4, 5 right there. So I'm gonna just say this is the full cycle, and it's a new cycle higher. Intel. Let's take a look at Intel. Dividend stocks. Let's see here. How's that doing? We said it was a do or die moment for Intel to go higher right here, and then look, it went higher. Look at that. What do you know? And that looks like probably our first wave 4 right there. So it should still grind higher. Again, you can't rule out another 1-2, but that's a pretty big peak on the daily. So more than likely, it can even be finished this cycle, right? So I would be careful. Like I think it could be in a consolidate, but it should just now we should just continue higher. We should just continue higher from these lows at 29. Crypto Mickey, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is really tough. It's not getting that reaction. I think this weekend, hopefully, we'll get some convincing price action to really give us more confidence the low's in. So I'm labeling it as if the low's in, guys. And if it is, then we're about to have a big move higher soon, like Bitcoin tends to do. So this is the count. So this is my count on Bitcoin. The other count is very bearish, right? This is a 3-swing connector. And if we unravel and break this low at 53,100, there'll be real panic like we've never seen. I think like we've seen before in Bitcoin, but it would go down. We would come back down to this area, 42,000. So that's what would happen. But it hasn't. The bulls are about to take charge. Because once we break this peak, then you've got you have 5 up. Then I think you're pretty confident that this is a major low. This was a major low. But it's like, yeah, we're like, you can watch it this, maybe on our live stream we'll see it pop. But you want to see it pop above 60,000, and then I think we're pretty much in the clear in crypto. And we already have coins that have broke the downtrend. I already showed you like Bitcoin Cash and stuff. So there's already signs that the market has turned up. So we'll have to just wait and see. Roku, I'm trying to play Roku myself, guys. And I'll show you my Roku setup. I love this one. I love this again. You chart pattern traders, bull flag, right? Flagpole, bull flag. So we break out 70, but even better if we break out of this. Again, you have like a consolidation trying to take shape, and we could reverse out and get up to this $9,700 area. We did have this as a low, so we were watching this on my channel as we were correcting, because big picture on Roku, we have 5 up and we need a pullback. So as we were falling, I was like, okay, the normal level is between the 2 and the 4, which would put us right around 53. So I was looking for 53. And sure enough, we got there, but we got to like 56. And divergence was erased. Everything looked good, but we were a little short. So I thought, this could be the low. So you could have got in there, but what happened is it decided to triple correct, and then it tagged the bar, and then boom, it's reversed, and then all of a sudden news drops. Oh, they're going to be profitable now. Imagine that. Boom, you hit right at the target, news drops. Oh, they're probably going to be profitable now. So so it's like that's how it works. Okay, so now all of a sudden everyone wants Roku. And I think its earnings is going to be huge for it, because if it could try to show good guidance, profitability or something, this thing will reignite. And when Roku goes, man, it can go vertical like Tesla even. And we've seen Roku. I mean, when people want to panic buy Roku, this shit goes really vertical. So technically, I like the technical setup here. I like the technical setup. Now, very short term, we could still be in this wave 2, so we could still dip to $59.78, $59. So I have another area for some additional shares that I want to pick up, but it should be coming to an end soon. All right. Anonymous. Oh, I forgot MIGI. Sorry about that. Sometimes I do that. I have to pay more attention. Let's take a look. So we were looking for this. This is the kind of like a panic target here at 113. Now we could be turning higher. You see how we have this nice 3 swing move, but this is the 45-minute. Now we haven't broken higher, right? We haven't. So we're still in. So it still can go lower. The 4-hour. It would be nice to see it drop a little lower. Now, what is nice, you see how this peak is lower than this peak. So I could talk myself into calling this the low, but I don't have confirmation and enough price yet to do that. But when the 45-minute breaks, then I think you could put the low in. So, it's getting pretty close. We just don't know yet. We just don't have enough data. Ideally, this is the area 112, but I mean it can truncate, and this is where you'll have to decide what's best for you. Okay. All right. So I got through all the super chats. I'll just scan through some comments real quick. Bombin, I'll do a couple here. Affirm and DLTR. I'll do Affirm real quick because if I have the chart, I'll do it. It's just so I can get through people's comments. Affirm is one I do have. Warn people about, again, FOMOing into Affirm. All right. So we had this connector. I'm looking for a great buy opportunity at 25.46. So I'm looking for this area. Now I have another box that's even lower. So we need to see which one will play out. But for right now, you know, somewhere here is the bottom. But it's a major low. So, but I still think it's got more downside. If I don't, yeah, still holding Roku. I am in Roku. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna hold it through earnings. See what happens. Um, let's see. I'll do a couple cryptos. ICP because I have that chart. ICP again. If I don't have your chart, I just for the sake of time, as I've been on so long. So looks like we're looking for one more low. So we have this 4. It looks like this 4 should be finishing up. Now, again, I can always be off by a swing. There's always a chance my count is off. So this could get to maybe 850 and then find sellers here. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I would just go with that. Okay. Near. Do I have near? So near we had this 5-wave move off the low. Let's take a look here. Looks like the 5 waves is finished, right? Yeah, I mean the 5th wave. Yeah, it's a tight wave 4. It's a real tight wave 4. You know, something like. And now it's been correcting, right? So I'll give you guys. It looks like it's already hit the buy area just by taking a glancing at it. Let's see. Yeah, a little short. So this is the buy area right here. I don't like how that bottomed on the daily. Let's look at the weekly though. The weekly looks okay. Yeah, I think it's and we got the daily cycle reset on this leg. So more than likely this is the major low here. And it should be going higher from here and out. Yeah, this box is irrelevant now. It's not negated. So this low has to hold at $4. So I believe it's trying to build out of this low, like most of crypto's doing, right? It's most of crypto that's trying to build out of these lows. Okay. Looks like I got a couple more super chats in. XRP Super Tuisk, XRP. Yeah, we haven't looked at that in a long time. We used to get XRP requests a lot early on in the bear market in 22, and then people just stopped. So I was worried they got blown up or something. By the way, guys, we called the XRP bottom. Look, we called the bottom here on our channel. The day of the bottom on June 22nd, we called it at 28 cents. And so since then, it's been pretty good, but it's been sideways. So we are in an X wave that looks like, you know, it probably is finished, right? It's probably finished. And why did I call it? Yeah, because it's only up in 3. So this is 3, 3, 3. I wonder if we're still in a connector of some kind. Well, it's moving in 3 swings. So I think what I'm seeing with XRP is we're seeing a lot of 3 swing moves in XRP. 3, 3. Yeah, I think and you see how that bottomed with no divergence there. So my guess is I'm going to put the X there. It's just we didn't take that out. So no, we're still in the connector. We're still in the connector. Yeah, this is a really challenging chart because anytime you're in these kind of connector areas. There's just so many possibilities, so many permutations and combinations of pattern. So I would be careful that you don't get one more low. Yeah, it's just really tough. I mean, could I put the Y there? I think that's not by my system, but then we could still be in this X too. So it's just it's really messy. I think if there's a chance you could still be in this X and then Y comes later. Yeah, but see in time it's already gone enough. So I'm really torn on what to call this. I don't really have a good answer. I just think the best way to trade it is off of this low. It's bullish. Off of 29 cents, it should go higher, no matter. But it's gonna kill you as you wait. Next is Bitcoin, BTC. I think I already did Bitcoin, but BTCD. What's the difference there? Oh, market cap. Okay. Yeah, let's look at that. I'm curious too. Market cap dominance. I saw someone posting, they're like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin, there's no alt season. Bitcoin market cap dominance is going to moon. Yeah, that was 5 waves, right? So it's 5 waves down. That looks like 5 up. Yep. And then this looks like a flat that finished. Put B there and put C there. Something like that. And then when this C comes, it's going to look something like that. So that'll be alt season. Right, that's alt season. So alt season maybe is coming, but not until this C is finished. And we will know C is finished when this trend line breaks, I think, on the monthly. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, it could be a run-in flat of some kind here, but you're gonna have to do what's best for you. So I think it's a very interesting chart. It clearly topped here. This is 5 waves, right? So clearly this cycle's over and it's coming down. So more than likely, yeah, more than likely your wave 5, like more than likely it's gonna retrace, go a little bit lower like this, and then it should continue higher, and then have a massive reversal. Something like that is what I'm thinking. But what do I know? Here now, if C truncated and it is some kind of run in, this is some kind of run in flat structure, which isn't ideal given what it looks, but then it's already topped, and then we're about to go into a massive like alt season, I guess. But I think this actually makes a lot of sense, right? Bitcoin can pump, maybe Bitcoin can get to 100,000, 120,000. Everything lags, it's all about Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin tops out, and then all the altcoins run, right? I don't know. I think we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But because this is 5 down, we should get another big push lower. All right, next super chat, Ryan Tyler, CC Cameras. So CC here. So I mean, it looks like 5 down. but you don't have that divergence on the monthly. Let's look at the weekly time frame. A little bit of bullish divergence there. So yeah, I think this is 5 down of some kind. I think it's in some kind of ABC correction. And then this is like, again, a nasty connector wave that you're still in. So there's really no good way of labeling it A, B, C, something like that. So I think it's going to do something like that. And out. All right. That's what I think you got. I think that's what you got, but this is a tough one to chart. Eddie, thanks again for the super chat. Core and Lemonade. Let's take a look. Yeah, Core, we did that one earlier. So we are in the buy area. We're in 5 off the low, so it seems like we're in this pullback in 2. That honestly can end at any moment. It could even go to 680, and then we should get a really nice break out of this pattern to confirm the bottom is in. If we do break this low, it's lights out. So you really need this. Technically, it really needs to hold this 632 level. And then Lemonade. So we had this wave 2, we got that. So now we're in wave 3. It looks like it's about to bust out of here in wave 3. So yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Now, more than likely, no divergence. So I don't label wave 3s like this. It's just going to keep going until it stops, and then you'll get your 4s and 5s. Okay. Next is 5. Please, China Soft International in Hong Kong, 354 Hong Kong. All right, I'll try to find that symbol. Make sure I see if I'll just try to type it in like you have it there. China Soft International. Oh, there it is. This is probably what you want. Okay. Let's see. Almost looks like Baidu's chart. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's some kind of impulse that's finishing up, right? So we're in a downtrend. So where does this downtrend end? So that was a connector. You see the whole cycle reset with the weekly cycle, but then it went to make new lows with bullish divergence. So it's actually typical of a 5-wave move down. So it could be a couple things. I think way I would want to label this is like an ABC correction, like a 1-2. So I think it needs to finish an impulse lower. to go to a lower cycle. Yeah, it would actually be done the first impulse here. So I think it's got more downside, but this has got to play out more, something like that. But I think it's going to bounce more into. Okay, William, Square and Uber. Yeah, where is Square? How's Square doing these days? So I was looking for this final push lower in 5. And it should have, if it's going to happen, it needs to happen like now. So we'll see if it could do it. Again, it's strong enough that I can easily just do this, right? And then it's finished. So it's a lot of strength. Yeah, I think you have to call it finished. I think it truncated. So I think it's finished, and it's about to see the power of wave 3. All right, I think Square's finished with this move right there. I think that completes this cycle. So this is a very important low at 16.98 that has to hold. Uber. We have 5 off the bottom. We're pulling back in 2. We should drop to 57. So I'm looking for one more swing lower to finish this correction. Looks like an ABC of some kind. So once the connector wave finishes, this is kind of where I'm looking for a nice opportunity for a buy. But I still think this is 5 waves down. So I believe it's got something like that coming. This whole cycle's been corrected. And again, we called that peak on my channel. So, but it's actually a great opportunity for a nice, real big wave 3 now. Some people say robo-taxis are going to make Uber obsolete it. So let's just look at the higher time frame and see what's going on. I don't see that on the chart. I mean, you would have to call it a corrective move. Like, I guess technically you could try to, instead, see, I had this as a 1-2, 1-2. I guess you could make the case that it's some kind of corrective move. And if that's the case, then it will go to 0. But I don't think that's the case. So I think Uber needs 82.29 taken out to get all that talk stopped. But I guess until then, there's always a chance this is a corrective bounce, and it just that's it. And robo-taxis take over, Waymo takes over, and Uber goes bye-bye. So I think we just we'll see what happens if there's a lot of momentum that comes to the downside or not. But I don't think it's going to. I think I'll go higher. All right, Jordan for 10. Lulu and Baba. Yeah, Lulu was another one that we did not want to FOMO or try to bottom pick that. So Lulu, we called the turn in B. I warned about the shallow 2 wave. So here's an example of a very shallow 2 wave, and it's about to break the double top. The dreaded, now here's a dreaded double top with the target somewhere down at 139, which is where I expect it to bottom. So yeah, I think dark times are coming for Lululemon investors, but Nike's sucking wind, and a lot of these are sucking wind. So just get ready. When's earnings? Thursday the 5th. Yeah, I think it's setting itself up for a catastrophic decline on earnings. This is just seems like, right? It seems like earnings, maybe like, hey, let's load up on some puts, speculative puts. All right. If we're trading at that neckline into earnings, I may even just buy some puts. What the hell? I mean, I mean, if we're trading here on earnings, I mean, what the hell? Why not? I mean, because if this pattern break, I mean, it's just boom, you know. That's what I think. But we'll see if, where we are into earnings. Baba, I think was like at this like backing into the low situation. It couldn't go any lower without it being like essentially devastated, wiped out. Let's see here. So, you know, I had this as the bottom here originally, and then we only came up in 3 waves. So that's a problem for me. This is 3 waves. Now, this looks like 5 down to me, 5 down. So it looks like still the primary trend is lower. So, you know, it's tough to call, but I wouldn't, you know, and I don't know why it's so bearish. Like, I know it's like got this super, like, you know, low PE and all this stuff, but the chart's the chart, you know, for some reason, it just can't get out of its own way. So I do believe this is the count. And we'll do something like that. And if we're lucky, that 58 will hold. And then we'll find another bottom here. That's what I look for on Baba. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, I went through everything. I want to say that Meta and MongoDB, guys, is doing a lot of strange stuff here, but I do want to show that chart, what I think is happening with MongoDB. I can find it somewhere in here. I got some, I think it's in my growth tech. Yeah. I'm looking for one more low to finish the impulse, okay? The flat. So that's what I'm looking for. If we can retake this high at 272, then it's negated, and then this was the low at 214. So, but this is the area that accumulate anyway. That's why I look at that. Meta, guys, is like in wave 5. So what is wave 5 done? I don't think so. I would want it to go a little bit higher. So I think this is just one, you know, wave 2 of 5 and a flat. I think it's just a flat A, B, C, and then it should continue higher. But yeah, it's running out of time. Obviously, it's wave 5. Again, this is my personal feeling. We don't have a lot of data to support it. I can be wrong. This could be the 5. I do want to say that. If it is, then we should drop back down to this area 360. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. But I do think we're in wave 2. Wave 2 could still go a little bit lower to like 479. Yeah, Palantir, real quick. I'll look at that because I have that chart. Here's the thing, guys, with Palantir. Palantir is trying to break out in this wave 3, right? We have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the question is, are we still in wave 2 and this will do some kind of flat? I think now that you have the 5 swings, I don't think there's a flat. I think it's just going to continue higher. So Palantir, the targets is in the 50s and 60s. All right. Yeah, if I skipping over your comments, this is I just don't have the charts and I need to get off the channel. I gotta get off. I've been on a while. Platinum should be ready for an explosive move higher. Yeah, Halstone, I agree. Typically, if you see it's the emotion of disbelief. If you're ever at all-time highs at a stock and all the sentiment around it is disbelief, or not all-time, but you're breaking out or you're at highs, you're making high or highs, then that's the perfect recipe for massive moves higher. That's how wave 3s are born, because it turns the disbelief into belief, right? So that's fine, and that's why I think the indices have a lot more room to go, because there's still so much disbelief at the top. I think they said the fear and greed index at one point is still in fear. I mean, how the hell can we be in fear and we're making all time? But people, I've never seen people so scared of a high. So that's why I'm like that's not how. I mean, no one was alive in 1929, but all the books and material and little videos I watched, there was nobody scared in 1929, that summer in 29. There was a few idiots saying, they said were idiots saying the market was like an orgy, speculation, and they laughed at their ass off at these people. But most people were like, it was happy, the society was happy. There was no, it was like the most, it was euphoric moment in America, you know, and then it all shit unraveled that fall. So that's how markets top. Like in the dot com era, you guys were around the dot com. Most of you, some of you maybe weren't. But in I would say in 1990s, like it was like it was everyone was getting rich, guys. I mean, it was like you couldn't lose. You would turn on the news and everything would just say, hey, it's going up. Everything's going up. Keep buying. There was no sell. No one was calling a top. There was no top callers. Everyone was euphoric and happy and just like no one cared that they could, no one would have ever imagined a decline. Like you couldn't, in the housing crisis, the same thing. Like when we were at the top of the housing market, and you all seen the movies where, oh, housing never goes down, you're a freaking idiot, you know, and all that. But that's how the mentality was back. That's the mentality of bubble tops, not like, oh my God, it's crashing. Oh, it's gonna crash. Like, and again, you watch these guys on Twitter and on YouTube, and they're like they you know, and and you know who they are, and maybe you guys watch me. What they watching me right now? Oh my God, this is it. No, this is it. Oh, this is it. No, this is the crash. Oh shit. Well, no. This is. I'm certain. Wait a minute. Oh, you know, it just keeps going up because there's two. When those people finally capitulate, when you know who you are out there, when you finally are like, no, it's going to the moon and let's buy, then you know the top is in. So I'll leave you guys with that and have a good weekend and we'll talk later. I always try to do a super chat Sunday. Sometimes I can get to it. Sometimes I can't. I mean, do a live stream. But we'll see if I can get to that tomorrow. All right, guys.